Dennis hopped back on. He's more than welcome to be here. Beverly's in doesn't have her headset or anything like that, so we can't make any calls today. But we can definitely take a look at what you've accomplished essentially
I have
since your
accomplished
last.
zero since the last call.
At least you're honest.
Reason being is that I got really busy a week after, and then I've been on 2 weeks vacation in Bahamas,
Mhm.
and then I came back on Saturday, and this week I have two closings and three listings, so I have done zero. I have reached out to Suzanne, who we spoke to last time. She did put me in touch with the daughter, who I spoke to,
Mhm.
and I've set her up for mortgage brokers and the whole works, and there's been zero peeps since then. I've followed up two or three times with the messages, nothing, no reply. I've messaged the mom back to see what's going on. I haven't heard back from her yet, so I'm gonna give her a call. I have a call in my calendar for tomorrow. The other lady that we spoke to, I have her on my calendar for August 1st because she said a month, I think, or something like that. So whenever we spoke last time, I put her in my calendar to follow up. But I've
Mhm.
seen the market pick up though.
And
Yeah.
when you say pick up, what do you mean?
A lot more transactions happening, a lot more people looking, you know, a lot more fresh listings coming out. They're not stale listings that, haven't been sold before. So I see some positive moves in the market for sure.
So the lady and her daughter that you were talking about, wasn't it her price range was a struggle, wasn't it?
Yes, but when I spoke to mom, mom said that, listen, me and my husband, our house is paid off. We are retired. We are getting pension, but we are willing to help her out by being the co-signers if that's going to help. So when I actually did the math with the income from the pension and with the equity they have in the house, she can actually afford a decent property. But I don't know what happened since then. I know when I spoke to her, she didn't want her partner to know that she's even contemplating something like this. So I kind of had to like go around it and say, you know what? Why don't you call me when you're not at home? That kind of stuff. So we had a conversation. It was a really, really nice conversation. It was like a half an hour conversation where I kind of said, listen, I deal with this all the time. Like, this is nothing new. You're not the first or last person. Getting your first property is the hardest thing you can do. Once you buy the first one, once you get settled in and, a little bit of time passes by, then you really start feeling good about yourself and so on. So she was really excited. And
Good.
I was like, okay, you know what? Let me help this lady out. But like I said, I followed up. I sent an introductory email to my mortgage broker. My mortgage broker replied. There hasn't been anything, so I followed up with a text message once. I followed up with a call, no answer. I didn't want to call her too many times because of the situation that it's in, where the partner can't know what's going on. So
Yeah.
I've been following up with the text messages, but there hasn't been any answer back whatsoever. So
Well, I love that whole scenario though, because here you are taking someone that didn't look like they had much buying power, right? But there's always a story behind. And that's why I always say, like, our expectations whenever we're calling leads, we want to like get the closing, right? But really, our job is to
to find
figure
a way.
out where we fit into their story and how we fit into their story and when we fit into their story, because everyone has a story. So if we take that time to listen to their needs and educate them and give them the options that are available. Now, did you bring up to them about the equity with the parents, or was that something they'd already talked about?
No, so what happened is I spoke to her mom first, Suzanne. When I spoke to Suzanne, she kind of gave me the story and everything like that. And then I kind of mentioned, I said, look, with what you're telling me without having the full story, it's going to be really tough to find her a nice property in a nice area for the budget that, you know, uh, she has. So then I started probing the mom. I said, what's your living situation? Is your house paid off? how are you willing to help your daughter? Are you willing to, co-sign for her? She's like, absolutely. So that's kind of how we got there. And then I presented that to the daughter. I asked the mom, I said, do you want me to tell her? Or do you want to be the one to tell her, hey, listen, you know what, if you need help, we're there to stand by you, we're there to help you out. So she goes, no, no, you can tell her. That's really nice that you thought of that idea. I'm like, okay. So then when I spoke to her, she had no idea that mom and dad wanted to do that. So she's like, oh, that's great. So,
And now it's them going through that process, right? Because
correct.
there could be some turmoil like, mom, no, or, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And that's where sometimes we make those assumptions and we can turn people off by pushing too hard. But we have to let them, like you said, just let them go through their process. And it's easy for us to assume on this end, like, oh, they ghosted us. But they have life that's happening right now
I,
and
I
they're
don't think
figuring it out.
I don't think she ghosted me. I really think that
But I'm saying it's
she's
easy for
figuring
us to
stuff.
think that.
Yeah,
It's easy
I
for us to
don't think
think
so,
that.
to be honest with
Yeah.
you. I just think that they're figuring stuff out on their own end. That's why I'm not sending messages every single day. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Why aren't you? No, absolutely not. Like every
Yeah.
week to 10 days, hey, what's going on? Do you need anything from me? Hey, have you reached out to the mortgage broker? That kind of stuff. Like, is there anything that I can do to help you anymore? Like that kind of stuff. Just kind
Yeah.
of like letting them know that I'm there for them.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right. And that's what our job is. And so, sometimes like when we're hungry, we're starving and famished and we're like, we're like going in. But
Mhm.
what this proves is that day that I made those calls, I only made what, five, right?
Yeah,
Talked to one person.
too.
We'll talk to two people in that amount of time and you're communicating with both of them.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
is, it's really, truly amazing.
And you know what? I've had leads, come through 9 months, 10 months down the road, 12 months down the road, and become one of my best clients. I met a guy, 5, 6 years ago that took 12 months to buy a first property, and everybody around him was telling me, "What are you doing? You're wasting your time. Stop showing him properties. Stop doing." I'm like, you know what? Like, let me run my business. Don't worry about me. Let me do my thing, what I think is the right thing to do. This guy came, one, two, bought about 6 properties through me and sold in the last 5 years. So like, you never know.
You don't, and then you've got to look at one person and the lifetime of what you can gain from one transaction. Because I mean, I had several clients that you five, six transactions out of one person, right?
I'll tell you something. And this has been my story for now going on 10 years. I have a guy in my office who doesn't do leases. He doesn't want to touch them. He doesn't want to give him a time of day. So I said to him, you know what? Don't worry about it. Anytime you have a lease, send it over. I've closed more deals, purchases after the leases, getting those leads for free than probably my own.
Yeah. Well, and you're doing what other people aren't doing, right? And that's where the sweet spot is.
Yeah. Because I tell everybody, look, I'm not in it for one transaction. I'm in it for a lifetime clients. If I can gain one lifetime clients out of 5 transactions,
Yeah.
that's not good for
Mhm.
me. I
Yeah.
want 5 out of 5.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. So what's your main focus today? What do you want to look at today?
Me?
Mhm.
Well, you can't make any calls.
I could potentially. I just need to make sure. So, Crystal, do you want to send me a link?
Yes.
You know what? We don't even have to do calls today because I
Okay.
haven't done my part of the job here anyways. So I guess my biggest question, is I'm struggling with tags and I'm struggling with like I have way too many tags and I'm lost. I'm lost. I'm being very, very honest. Like I have a tag, call 30, call 60, call 90,
You
call
do.
1 year,
Yeah.
call 2 years, call 5 years, call weekly, call, like I'm like I don't know where to start when I log in. I'm being very honest with you. So what I always do is I go last activity and I start calling last activity because I'm lost.
Okay.
So one of my biggest
I love
issues
this.
is one of my biggest issues is I call a lead, I talk to a lead, and then I don't touch that lead for 2 weeks, and then I forget who that is. How do I get over that?
So while I'm waiting on the link,
Yeah.
what I really like to focus on when I created the tagging system, I wanted something automatic because we do tend to have a lot of leads that get lost in the database, right? So I like to look at the buckets and say, does this person, like, once the conversation happens, are they a lead that qualify for time on my calendar? Because I know that if I do everything I need to do, I will close them. Or are they a situation that is not really qualifying for time on my calendar, but I won't lose them if I tag them for the appropriate reason that they would need my services? So whether it be retirement, relocation, first-time home buyer, divorce, whatever those things are, I like to use the tags to identify the reason or the excuse. So that's why I always like quantified buyer lost or future opportunity, because then I always look at, right, when you go into a grocery store, if I want to go and get 3 things on my shopping list, I want to get Oreo cookies, I want to get canned chicken, and I want to get bananas, right? Like I'm in 3 different parts of the grocery store, but the only way I know how to go into the grocery store and go boom, boom, boom is by the overhanging signs. So if we create that database to be that efficient, we can jump into our database just like when we go grocery shopping and be able to say, hey, these people said they had an agent. Well, if I pull up, if I click on that tag and I pull up everyone that said they had an agent, I can see from the dashboard and even sort by my last conversation and go, oh gosh, I haven't talked to these people in 6 months. And look, they're actively engaged. They just logged in a day ago. Wonder what's going on with them. And it helps you work the database without having to think about it, if that makes sense.
100%. So, a couple of things. I wanted to ask you a question about a lead that I have.
Okay.
Talked to this lead probably a year ago. This lead has been active almost every single day because every time they look at they like a property, I get an email. I kid you not, between 5 and 8 likes a day. Every single day. My inbox is almost full from the emails from this lead. I've called this lead minimum 50 times. Not once did they.
Never talk to them.
No, after that, not once.
Now, have you tried calling from different phone numbers?
Yes, my
Okay.
cell phone number, the lead number. I don't think it's that. I'm not sure what the issue is, but like I've tried everything. I've tried emailing, I've tried texting, I've tried calling from like no answer whatsoever.
You
So do
you can
I?
never guess people's habits. Just keep doing what you're doing. So when I look at activity, and I think we may have touched on this on one of the other calls, when I look at the high priority leads, they're always the ones that are newer and active,
Yep.
right? Because if they're active, they know you. Well, they don't know you, but they know your name because they see the
Exactly.
emails, right? They see the emails. It's that brand awareness. So those are always my highest priority leads, are the ones that are within the last 2 weeks that are just registered. And I don't care when you registered, but if you've been active within the last 30 days, you're a higher priority than the people that aren't active. So my philosophy on that is just that phone call attempt once a week. So if all of those people that register within the last 30 days, or all of the people that registered whenever that have been active within the last 30 days, you only really need to make that attempt once a week and just change up the time frames, because if they're in the same bucket, they're always going to be falling back in that bucket. And it's like, okay, I'm calling this bucket at 8 in the morning today. So, okay, I'm making a conscious effort. If they fall back into that bucket, you don't always want to be calling at the same times because people have habits.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and this is one of my favorite stories. We had a lead that we called like 74 times, and the same exact scenario, exact same scenario. And my agent tried calling him again and he answered the phone and he knew exactly who she was. And he's, no, actually, she tried calling and he called back and he said, we've been looking for a couple of years now and we're finally ready. And you've been so persistent. If you're working like that when you don't even know me and I'm not even responding, how hard are you going to work for me whenever you actually know me?
Yeah.
And he wasn't yet ready, but he wanted to meet her. They went out to lunch. Him and his wife went out to lunch with her. And our market value in that area was 350 and they were 500,000 cash.
Wow.
Right? And how much time does it take to make a 30-second phone call and
Yeah.
hang up and just be consistent and persistent? We don't think anything's happening on our end, but yet they know.
Mm-hmm.
They know. Are
I,
we going to win them
I
all?
know
No,
they
we're
know. I
not.
listen, I know they know because when you actually get somebody, they know who you are. I've had, and again, that I think most agents that are just starting are kind of scared of getting the answer that they don't want. I've got an answer actually just before we left. I was doing calls and the guy goes, "You're not supposed to have my number." I said, "Sir, you register somebody with your name and your number register on my website." He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna report you," and he hung up on me. I'm like, "Okay, whatever." It's next to me, but maybe somebody would get scared or rattled or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's part
Oh,
of the
see,
job.
he would stay in my call filter and I'd call him back.
Sorry?
Mm-hmm.
He would stay in my call filter. I would call him back. Because here's the thing, right? So my agent, she had a lead. I had great notes in there that wonderful conversation. They were military relocation. She was pregnant. They couldn't wait to get in the area. And then my agent called to follow up, and the lady was nasty. Like she's like, I don't know how you had a good conversation with this lady, but she was mean. We
Yeah.
kept in the call filter. And
I don't put
Missy got a hold of
anybody,
her
I
again
don't
and
put
had a great
anybody on,
conversation.
I really don't put anybody off. Like everybody stays in my pipeline, everybody. I don't care. Like I had a lady just before I left on vacation. I've called this lady 20 times. She told me the situation. She was downsizing. She was waiting for some money from that she's inheriting and stuff like that. I said, you know what? She said, she's like, I'm gonna be ready in a week. I'm like, okay, you know what? If you're gonna be ready in a week, why don't we start looking now? So when you're ready in a week, you already have in mind what you want. No problem. Send me some properties. I did all of that. Calling her, no answer. Calling her, no answer. Calling her, no answer. 2 weeks later, I call her. She goes, "Oh, I just bought."
But you did every, so if we lose a lead, if you can hang up and say, I did everything I possibly could
I
have,
agree.
it doesn't hurt as bad.
I 100% agree because
Yeah.
you can't win them all.
Mm-mm.
You can't. You can do absolutely everything right and still lose the deal.
Yes,
And that's okay.
agreed. All right,
Not at
so
all.
let me share screen. Where did they move? Oh, there it is.
So my other question, Beverly, is this: are we able to, when you say, when it comes to tags, to have like the buckets, like buyer lost or future opportunities or, hot lead or whatever. Are we able to, when it comes to tags, have like the major buckets and then underneath, like, call 30 days or call whatever?
They're already in your system. I pinned a couple more filters to your dashboard, but they're all there.
Okay.
And because you'll have like your call 30-day, like I don't know where your tags are, but there's other ones like it's just switching some of those filters around. So I have like pinned your first priority, second priority, third priority. Those are
Okay.
essentially those buckets are intended for people that we have not yet had a conversation with, meaning they're in there until we have a conversation and we're able to move them out of there so we know how we should be following up with those individuals. So
Okay.
and the lists are a little bit smaller because I think your first priority we at some point changed it to all leads that have been active in the last 60 days.
Okay.
So compared to your number one all leads, which is, a pretty enormous list of individuals in there, this one's more kind of defined. It's just everyone that you've never tried calling before. There's 40 of them in there
Okay.
that you've never tried calling before, and but they've been active in the last 60 days.
Okay.
Okay, so and then as you call them, they'll fall into your second priority if you don't have a conversation,
But how
right?
do I get to those priorities? Like, do I do applied filter or? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hit if you hit your dad, yeah. So like
Okay.
in second priority is really you've tried calling them at least one
Yeah.
time, right? But you haven't tried calling them today. And so anyone that we make contact with,
Yeah.
we want to make sure that with their pipeline status, we take it off of a make contact because our goal is to get them from a new lead all the way down to sold, right? So we have to move them down that pipeline. So after we speak to them, it's telling the system then, okay, in ourselves, this is a cold lead, warm lead, or a hot lead, or in some cases we set a meeting right away, and that's what'll get them off of one of those priority lists. In addition, and then it's you tagging them, or creating additional, like there's check-in tags, you have call 30, those types of tags,
Yeah.
because that those will be your follow-up filters then, right? So based on how the conversation went, I want to follow up with this person every week, or I want to follow up with this person every 2 weeks, or every month, or every quarter.
So the filters are connected with the tags.
They are, yeah, as long as you set them up that way. They are right now. So you have, I'll put a couple more just so you
This
can
one
see.
is just based off of the filter right here. So as soon as you make contact or you move them anywhere in that pipeline, they're going to fall out of this
Yeah,
filter.
yeah, automatically.
Yeah. And this
Okay.
is probably the majority of your leads.
And
That
what would you suggest for me, like reorganizing my tags?
And so, Crystal, I actually had a question because I was in on the
mhm.
tags. It wasn't showing them all. Do I need to go to manage tag? Like
Go
it's
to
only,
the bottom. It should show you.
yeah,
There's a
this is the only
next.
page. I did. There was no, it didn't go anywhere. It's like this is the only page. And I know he had a crap ton more than this. I'm a little confused.
Let me look on my side.
Because I know he had, because like nothing's tagged. Like if you look at how many, it's like one,
Yeah, but
something's.
he has, yeah, his call. Let's see. Let me just open up a lead. Because you have the three AI, call 30, call back
Oh, I
again.
had way more than that.
I know. Yeah, you have way more than 50, but it's only showing one of 50 of zero.
Yeah, which is
I don't know why they're not showing.
for inheritance.
So while she's looking, Dennis, when you look at these letters, the reason I did this is because when you open a lead, in fact, let's just go to a lead because I think we might get a little bit more of the tags.
You will, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why. I have no idea why it's only showing
Yeah, it
partial
was not
tag
showing
list.
all of them. It's very weird. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
see,
it's
yeah, like
saying, yeah, because
none
it's
of these
tag
were
list.
showing.
No,
So the
yeah.
reason I did this, do you see how like they're alphabetized?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to have to look up gatekeeper, bad phone, can't qualify. So I like to group them with the beginning letters that mean something. So
Okay.
BL is buyer lost.
Ah,
Like
okay.
no matter what I do, they couldn't sell their property. They were a lot. I'm not saying they're forever lost potential, but it's just prioritizing those leads. And so when we were talking about the grocery store, right? Do you have any pets, dogs, cats?
No.
Okay, so you never go down the pet food aisle in the grocery store, right?
Do kids count?
The what they can. So you never go down the pet food aisle at the grocery store, right?
Right.
But it's there because if you would get a stray cat and you needed cat food real quick, it's convenient for you.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So I look at like your buyer lost as like the pet food aisle in the grocery store. You don't want to eliminate somebody and just delete them because you've got data, but where do we put them to deprioritize them?
Because right now in your life, they're not a priority. You're never gonna go there, and so on and so on.
But
So,
you might, it's like, buyer lost couldn't sell their house, but
yeah,
they have a house to sell,
yeah.
right? So a year later, you may just be poking around going, wonder what's going on with them. Let me pop, right? Buyer lost is an agent. So and then I identify them as black labels because black's like death, right? Buyer lost. So we identified colors and codes to group them all together. So
So
that way
that's
when
where I
we're
screwed
looking
up
through here,
because
yeah,
I
because you just had all
created
the words in there and they're everywhere, right?
because I created a ton of tags and I just put colors, whatever.
Yeah, well, and then it's like you create a word that makes sense to you today, and then the next time you're in here, you create a new word because you can't remember the word that you created to
Yeah,
identify right? So then you end up with multiple tags.
yeah.
So this was just an easy way to identify like all of this, C for communication.
Mhm.
Cell phone communication, email, are they a morning call? Are they text only? Are they a landline? Do they have a gatekeeper? Those ones where they leave their work number and you got
Oh yeah.
gatekeeper.
Well, there's those ones now that say leave your name and I'll see if that person's available. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
So that was the reasoning because there was no way, because I was working with Addo and I'm like, can we have them just in like, it would be cool to have just like separate groups and have
Mhm.
like spaces. But this was the easiest way we could organize the leads to be able to not be searching for them or not having to remember what what group they were in or
Can
remember.
I make a
Can
suggestion?
I
I don't even
make,
know if it's possible or not. So what I would like, instead of having all these tags here, and what you're saying actually now makes sense to me. I had no idea what BL means. I had no idea what C means. I was just making tags left, right, and center. Is it possible to have like a little tag? So three or four tags: buyer lost, communication, uh, and then you click on those tags. Let's say communication, and I know that I need to put night call, sell, whatever. I click on the communication, and only those tags come down.
no,
Yes,
you can search for it though, like that.
No, but is it possible to change that in the
yes, right there,
system?
like that.
You would
Ah,
have to search
okay.
for it. Yeah, you need to search for it. But
So
if you're organized, yeah.
as long as you know C for communication, FO for future opportunity, BL for buyer lost, and my tag system, Crystal, do you have a copy of that tagging system?
Yeah.
Because it actually tells you what they mean. And then that way, like this one for future opportunity, those are all your future opportunity tags.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That actually makes a lot of sense. But you see,
And
I've created
and
some just looking, whatever, not buying now. Like I've created some different colors that shouldn't be there just
yeah.
because I didn't know that I already had something like that.
Well, so
And I
let's do
think I
this.
think with your tags as well, just by Beverly going through them, and one thing to remember is your tag should be a blanket, not specific to a person, right? So it's something that you can use on multiple individuals, not just
Right.
one unique individual,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
See, I don't know what does the G mean? G just looking.
I'm,
He's like, geez, just
he must
And
be a
looking.
that's where I
G-man.
wanted to be able to search, because here's the thing, right? I don't want to hit delete because, well, it'll tell you if I hit delete, it'll tell you if you have any leads in that category, right,
Yeah,
Chris?
it won't allow you to delete it if there is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if
that's another issue that I'm facing is I can't even like I would have to untag
yeah,
everyone.
see.
Tagged
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
using. So what would have to happen is we would have to go through and, okay, we can pull. Let me just see. This one's just looking 1+ and 2+.
Those are yeah.
Yeah, so these are ours. So this one's like, this
Mhm.
is 1+ years and this is 2+ years, because there's a difference,
Mhm.
right?
Of
Mhm.
And
course.
then this is one that is just straight out just looking.
So is it
So those
possible to
three,
connect those two tags so one just
yes.
You
So
can
what we
have
have to
just
do is we're going to go, let me go back home, and we're going to clear filters, and we're going to add a filter, and we're going to add a tag, and we're going to do the G. G just looking.
yeah.
they see G
And
is not I didn't create G.
somebody did. And you have 26 leads in there. So we could mass move them to just looking and then
Okay.
eliminate that tag.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So now we can go to apply actions.
You have to select all your leads first.
Oh,
Just select
sorry.
them all. Yeah.
And then you want to select all
Yeah.
and then apply actions, right?
Mhm.
Apply tag. So you want to apply the tag before you delete the tag. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to find the one you want to use before you delete the other because it'll
So
all
then
just
you go
disappear.
FO. So we went FO, and we can even do FO just, or if there was a space in it, we'll just do FO.
There
We'll just
is a
do that.
space. Mhm.
Why isn't it?
I don't know.
Oh, it's not allowing me to do it here. So I have to know, I go down to the FO, and we want the actual FO just looking. So we're going to add this tag. Done. So now we added the tag to those 26.
Now you have to remove the other one.
And then we have to move. Now it won't show, right? You have to like do a refresh for it to actually show, but the tag was probably added, right, Crystal?
Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, there it is right there. So the tag's on there. So now we can go back and select them. They're all selected. So now we can go apply actions and remove tag. Then we can do the G.
Those are all his tags on that person are like that are
So we
selected.
just want to
It's like
take out, why are those tags are all, no, there was only 2 tags on that person, isn't
it's
there?
no, I know, but there's
There's other leads that have to
Oh,
because
be.
with
other
all the,
leads,
yeah,
all the
yeah,
leads. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have to uncheck mark all of these, right?
No, 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 no. No, just the one you don't that one.
Just uncheck that one.
That one. Yeah.
There we go.
If you
Okay.
unchecked all of them, they would all disappear off your
They
leads.
would all disappear. Okay. So then we can
Yeah.
do that. So now we can go back and delete that tag.
Yeah, well, you can do that right from the lead itself. You can open up any lead. You can
Oh,
open
really?
any, yeah.
Oh, and
Like
hit the delete
go into their
button.
tag list and there's a delete option
Oh, but it's
inside the
already
lead.
gone now.
No, but hit the plus sign.
Yeah.
No,
Well, there's not
okay.
now because I removed it.
No,
I removed it
you're,
off the lead.
I know, but if you just click the plus sign, it's going to pull up
Oh,
the
I think I
tag
know what you're
list.
saying.
Yeah. It's going to pull it
Oh,
up
Yeah,
okay.
that
no,
way.
I got you.
Yeah, you can do it a variety of different ways, right? So it's, yeah, there's no, you've, yeah, so if you click, because you can delete it from that window. So sometimes there is like several
Yeah.
of them
So
that you want to delete at
yeah, when
Okay,
there's
yeah.
no
once.
leads attached to it, so that one's gone.
Yeah.
So it's a process. But what's fun about this is it's just a fun way to work your leads. Because what I would do is go through those 26, but before you make any changes, we could have looked at those 26 and kind of sorted them into
Yeah.
priority, right? And looked at, is there anybody that I need to call out of those 26?
So
Or
what
call those
buckets do you have? So what buckets do you have? BL for buyer lost,
buyer lost,
T for communication.
opportunity. Let's just go through them here. Let me go back. So AI, those are all of
The
agent
bot.
locators.
Yeah, those are the bot.
So we have buyer lost,
Yeah.
communication,
Future opportunity.
future opportunity. So FU is follow up. And then
Jeez.
L, I usually do,
There's
that's for
lender.
lender.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
L
lender
for
saving for
lender.
down. Well, it'd be
Lender
like needs for
pre-approval,
approval, saving for down
saving for a
payment
down
for
payment, unrealistic, not
that's
selling, can't sell. We don't even really
it
need
is.
those because that's really
That's
not
a
it.
seller loss. Anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe you have it as listing. That's what the L is. He's putting it as listing, I
What's
think.
M?
What's what?
M.
You created that.
Yeah, that's you. I don't know. What's M, Dennis? So LL is lender loss. So these would be your lender tags. So if you have joint ventured with a lender, you could give the lender, say, hey, just go, like you could create a filter just for your lender and they can go into all the lender tags and they would have their
Ah, okay.
list, right? But this is lender lost because they can't qualify, they're in credit repair, they already have a lender. So I don't know what the M's are.
I didn't create all of those, I'll tell you that.
I don't
But it
know.
looks like a mortgage, M for mortgage, because all of these are
That makes sense.
needs
Mhm.
mortgage, credit repair,
Yeah.
can't qualify. So it's pretty much the same as the lender ones.
That's right.
Yeah, the lender loss, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because my you see my tags don't have
Making
any of
jokes.
Don't
those
have anything. Yeah, like morning call. See how we had that in communication?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
language
But
barrier.
Not buying, not looking, not searching.
Yeah. So
So
I added all those
The R
unnecessary
is
things.
renter.
Okay.
I don't know what RO is.
referral opportunities.
Referral opportunity. Okay.
Mhm.
And then S is seller.
Yep.
And then seller lost, SL.
Yeah.
And there was only a few that I had.
So the only one we can't figure out is the G.
Yep, don't know what the G is.
And we don't know who added these in for you if you didn't do it.
Out
Because
of
they
I did
Ontario.
definitely
not.
they
I'm telling
they
you for sure
definitely
I did not
created.
because they're all the same color. You see, if you look at my tags, the colors are all over the
It
place.
was probably just a default color. Yeah. So what I would suggest, and this is such a great way to clean up a dashboard too. So if you go back to your leads, let me clear out all my filters here. Okay, filters are cleared out. You could literally go in and do your tag and just go through some of these tags. Like I can just go in here and click G.
Yeah.
You can do all the ones that you don't want anymore. Like
Yep.
it depends on if they're applied though, because you have to, if they have agent or leads assigned to them, then you can't do a whole bunch of them at once. But if they don't have them assigned to them, then that's
Well,
the best
and
way
this
to
is
kind of
what's
manifest
interesting
them.
too, as far as like cleaning this up. Like, how do you know they've already settled if you've never talked to them,
Yep.
Mhm.
right? And that's what's fun about going into groups like this, because you can, like 26 leads is manageable.
Mhm.
And however you want to sort them, whatever your goal is, like you get a lot of tried to contact. Like, how the heck?
Mhm.
Was it maybe through text? Replied
No,
by text?
no, because the pipeline would be on made
Zero, eh?
contact then.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Mhm.
No, I did have, like I said, in the past, I've had a couple of people that I hired to call leads for me. So
There you go. They
Yeah.
run to the beat of their own drum. So that's why it's important, right, to have a system and everybody works the system the same way.
Yeah.
So when you have something that is a machine like this, being able to train in all the same ways, that really prevents a lot of extras, a lot of extra, I don't knows,
Yeah, for sure.
because then you're training to the process, you're training to the system. And these are pretty much older. Well, these are only a month. So somebody was using these tags within, and you can't tell when a tag.
Okay, so the second one down, yeah, that's the lady that I just told you about that I called and she said, and then she's just told me that she bought.
Yep. Okay. So which it's made contact. Like that makes sense to me.
Yeah, yeah.
So when I clean up dashboards, I go through and I look at leads that have tags on them. I'm like, well, how the hell do you know if it's tried to contact that's going to need like that? Then that would force me to go look at conversation.
Yeah, that one is weird because
And hopefully there's notes in there, which I can't read the notes. It's blurred. So Crystal, if you want to pull up Ravtar and see if there's anything in there. Now, look, there's a 38-second called no message left, called no message left, notes.
yeah, that's a weird one.
Let's see. Well, yeah. So Ravtar
And 38 seconds,
has,
the long called no message left.
Yeah. But why does it say no contact made then?
well,
It probably just
47.
went the voicemail.
So basically this one, so the call on the most recent call, which was on the 16th of this last month, a month ago, pretty much. There's a call note there that says already bought a house, but the call was saved as no message left, not talked to.
Can we listen?
Sure. Listen, whatever I do is whatever I did, so it doesn't matter, good or bad or ugly.
Hey, Raptor. Yep. This is Dennis, real estate broker. You were on my website looking at some properties to buy.
No, I was just generally looking at a specific property out of curiosity, nothing to buy.
Okay, is it a property that
We just bought a house recently, so I'm not interested. Thank you.
okay, no worries. Thank you.
So it's just improperly. So this is whenever you're over in the chicken can aisle and there's a banana sitting there. It's like he's in the grocery store, but he's not in the right aisle.
Yeah.
He just wanted to get rid of me.
Yeah.
And he
So
unsubscribed from the search as well. So he didn't unsubscribe from your system. So keep that in mind. So if you're doing mass emails, whatever, communications, newsletters, this person is still going to receive them. They've only unsubscribed from that listing search.
Yep. So I would move him. Now, this all depends on how you want to create your systems. Is he cold, not ready? Is he made contact? He's not warm and nurturing. He's not hot and ready. We haven't set a meeting. So
He would definitely be cold.
Let me ask you
cold.
this question, and is this maybe something that am I over complicating things here? But
Of course we
one
do.
of the agents just said that he didn't buy a house, he just wanted to get rid of you, which is very, very, very possible. But we have access to the names of the owners, and we can search to see if they bought a house or not. Would you go as far as that just to see if that lead is, buyer lost or future opportunity?
How much time do you have? Right? Because honestly, if you're going to sit and play solitaire on your phone, this could be something, this could be your new solitaire, right? It really
Yeah.
depends what your priorities are in your day and how much time you have. I want to try to get to the person that's not going to quick hang up on me or dodge my phone calls.
So do you think I did anything wrong?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, because check, move on. and he hasn't even logged back in 46 days.
Yeah.
So it's not a priority to me. So it's either cold or make contact is where you put them. And this is where you start putting your systems in place, right? So if you were to train somebody that we were coming into work the database, anytime you have anytime you add a tag, you have to take them out of tried to contact. And what I'm surprised of, Crystal, what is the time frame on the actual call that automatically moves it to make contact? So I thought there was a time frame that
There
automatically.
would be, yeah, and it might be like 60 seconds, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. It'll automatically kind of switch that, but
Yeah, so everyone, because I have seen in dashboards where you have leads in these in warm, hot, and there's and there's like no nothing. But like if we're moving them to something, we need to be able to look at the main front dashboard and see that tag. So if they're hot and they're ready, I want to know, like, are they future, like, are they relocating? Are they first time home buyer? Like, what are they? If they're not on my calendar for a follow-up, I want to know just on a quick click. I don't want to have to read through the notes. I want to be able to look at the tag and go, oh, they're just looking. I know what conversation I need to have with them without looking at all the notes.
Okay.
So if I click on try to contact and these people have tags, I'm like, question mark, how can they have a tag if we never talk to them?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing the
If I'm
system
moving them.
But then I'm guessing because the call was so short, the system didn't acknowledge that it was actually made contact. Okay,
Correct.
Yeah, you would
that's
always,
why I said it
always
was
check
weird because I know
Correct.
I wouldn't do something like that. So it's
Yeah.
like,
So I guess my question for you right now, I'll put it, but is he make contact or is it cold? Where do you want him?
uh, right
Cold.
now I want it as a call, like a cold lead, because he unsubscribed. He hasn't logged in 46 days. If he logs in again, he goes on automatically into my last activity. So when I start calling the leads, he'll pop up there anyway. So
Yep. So we can remove this tag now. And then we can put him on the buyer loss category.
there was a question there that from
So now he's on the buyer loss tag
okay.
and he's cold. So he's in the right place. So then if you go back to that, you're only going to have 25 in here now because we moved him.
Yeah.
So, and that's where it's like, what's your goal, right? Like, even like these are 3 years old. Like, do you want to open them and look at them? That's up to you.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, how much time do you have?
It'd be
This
more of a bit of a
one,
cleanup
Well,
day.
it depends on the
They'll
time
get
of the
it.
year, right? There are times of the year when I have a lot more time when I start
yes.
calling the leads. But there's times of the year where you're just so busy, you don't know what to do first. So then you kind of that falls back. The priorities kind of are setting the day, you know what I mean?
Based on that one, I'm going to say there's probably like there's somehow that you did know that they've already bought a house.
Very possibly.
Yeah.
Because again, not to go into too much details, but when I hired one of the people that, they've been working there for like 6 months, they made literally 9 calls in 6 months. And
Yeah.
once I logged in to see.
Remember in that second filter right here, there was like 1,400 leads.
Yeah.
That was set up to try to contact. So by doing this, you could even mass move these to make contact or to cold.
Well, again, I'm gonna start going through them more and more. I do want to follow up with, they might be a year old or 2 years old, but they might not have had
Hey, I just sold a house last year and he just sent me a message. He wants to list it because he got a job transfer. Right? It's people sell at peculiar times. Like just because they bought a year ago doesn't mean they're not ready to move. They may need neighbors, right?
There was a question from Sakit.
Yeah.
Can the leads still log in if they have unsubscribed to Safe Search? I believe they can, right?
They can, yeah, because they still have access to the website.
There's
They
not
would have
receiving.
to They would essentially have to find their way back to the website though, right? So they would be through an old listing email that they received or account activation, or they might get to the site again through a Google ad again, PPC, clicking on it. Or they get into your website, you're sending out an email with your website links in there. So they definitely have, they definitely can go on the website and start looking at listings, even if they've unsubscribed from the search.
Yeah.
And some people do, they don't want the search, they just rather go on there, browse,
Yeah, for sure.
right?
A lot of newer generation is what I'm noticing is they want to look by themselves. A lot.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because they don't have social skills.
Well, also, anyways, not to hurt anyone, but I think they know more than they do.
Hmm.
And I have a couple of them at home that are that age, so
Understood. Was this helpful though to know like how to go
100%.
find it? Okay. And
You
like
know,
organize your tags.
yeah.
So just remember the tags are the reason they would conduct business with you.
Oh,
Because
for
I
sure.
don't like to put parameters on tags of 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, because did you put that tag on 6 months ago, a year ago, or 2 months ago? Right? Like we don't know when that tag went on. So I don't like to have my tags as time frame. I
That's why
like to have
notes are
my
so important.
tags as like my tags are a noun.
To be honest with you, tags for me don't do as much as the notes. The notes are number one thing that I fall back to.
Sure. But if you have a lead that made contact without a tag or anything, like how do you find them,
You don't know
right?
what's exactly.
Yeah, because now you can go right to your tags and it's like, oh, I want to see who all said they had an agent. And you can pull up everyone that has that tag.
Mm-hmm.
And you got 25 people, and it's like, oh, I want to sort by activity. I want to see who it's because then you can sort by activity and go, oh my gosh, they've looked at 31 homes within the last month, and I haven't talked to them for 18 days or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you have a lead that you haven't talked to for a year and they've been active like today, like I want to, like, hey, how's your home search going? Like, I'm not going to say you have an agent. Say, hey, how's your home search going? Right.
Yeah.
I fall back to one question though, and I don't know if it's wrong or not, but I go, we talked about a year ago, and you told me you had an agent, so I'm just wondering, if you've been looking for a year, why hasn't it worked out?
I don't usually go there.
I do.
I just do a follow up because I don't want them to think I'm stalking them. It's like, hey, I would say maybe, hey, a year ago you were online looking at homes, but I look at it like this. If they're actively engaged looking at homes right here, right now on your site, they're also in other people's sites, and they've probably already recently logged into a new site.
Yep.
So none of that matters to me. All that matters is what's your damn story right now, right? So
And
if
the
I
reason
just
I
go right
asked
to
that
the front,
question, the reason I asked the question is not to put down another agent or whatever, but to find out what their motivation is more than
well, you
anything.
can ask it without bringing light too, because you're basically creating possibly your own objection because you're
Yeah,
giving them that permission to go, oh yeah, I'm still working with that agent. Like, I don't even want to go there because I don't care.
I remember
yeah,
you
I
had a
don't care if
call
they're
years
working with that
ago.
agent or not, because they may not tell me they're working with that agent, but I have back here, I have that thought in my mind, right? So if it gets to the point that they want to see a home, then I'm going to ask, are you committed to anybody?
Mhm.
and
Because
say yes.
the odds of a lead, a person, even a friend that is going to communicate a year later with the same agent that they were talking to a year ago is so slim because
Beverly, I
people
think
lose
we had a
contact.
call. We had a call years ago where you called when I can't remember, you called somebody and you would ask if she has an agent or she was just looking. She has an agent. You asked her how long has she been looking for, and she stumbled on that question, and she gave some like 6 months or 12, like something bizarre, right? Looks like you've been like looking, and you called her out on it, because it was like there's no way you're working with an agent if you are like, the time frame and how long you've been looking at listings for, and how long you say you've been looking for, like that doesn't even match up, right?
Yep. Yeah, I like catch them in lies.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I asked that question. I don't do it all the time, but when I see that somebody is BSing me, I do that just because, I don't. again, I don't talk about another agent. The only reason I ask that is says, would you like to try a different approach? Is there something that maybe we're missing for you to get a new property and so on? Would you like another set of fresh eyes? Like those kinds of questions, right?
Yeah. They're not going to, the thing is if you called a lead even a month later, they have no idea. They don't remember what they told you on the phone,
Yeah,
right?
bro.
They have no idea. You say, hey, you asked me to give you a call in a month. So here I am. They're not going to remember that they said it instead of,
All right, so you got 34 in your G has agent. So I just want to look at it by most recent activity. 3 years ago, now 3 days ago, an email went out, but 3 years ago, they were in 16 days ago and they've looked at 826 properties.
Excellent.
Oh, Carla. Huh. What's going on, Carla? What's happening, Carla? Oh, and she was actually an MO monitor activity. So monitor activity, I like to, it's not that they're a priority for me to call them, but if I have that conversation with somebody and they want me to set them up personally on a search, I don't want to put them on the calendar to remember to go back to see if they're looking at properties, but I want to be able to monitor. So everybody in that group, if they're in monitor activity, they better be active.
Yeah.
And if they're not active, my simple follow-up, and I would leave a voicemail. Hey, this is Dennis. I'm just checking in. I know we had talked about setting you up on a search. Your emails may be going to spam. Just want to remind you to check your spam because you have been getting emails and I see that you haven't opened them. Boom. Don't even need to go any further than that. Leave the voicemail, move on. But that's a really good way to maintain without setting more reminders or them falling into a separate filter. You've had a conversation with the monitor activity, you've set up the search, you want to make sure that they're getting those emails. And when you open up these 34 people, what that conversation is going to look like.
Yeah.
But that's what's fun about the tags, because you're taking, like, I hate when I go to the grocery store. It used to be 20 years ago, you had regular Oreos and double stuffed Oreos. Where now you've got Oreos of every flavor, right? And you have a whole huge section in that aisle of Oreos where
And
I
one
like to
banana.
condense down as much as possible because 34 leads is workable. And
Yeah.
then you can sort and filter like who you want. And Carla's obviously the top priority out of these 34 people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So yeah, it's just being able to search the leads. So all you need to do is like flip these over, and if you want to get rid of all the G's and just move everybody into the future opportunity. And I feel there's a difference between buyer lost has agent and future opportunity has agent. I would put, like, if someone tells me my mom is an agent, or I'm an agent, right? Or my sister's an agent, or like that buyer loss, like I'm not converting somebody that, like, the chances of me converting somebody that has an agent that's a best friend or a relative, that's a buyer lost, like,
I agree.
has agent. But then you have your future.
I would even feel bad to take that lead, to be honest with you.
It depends, right? Like I like taking leads that say they're working with their friends, because how much do you value that friendship? Because if something goes sideways and something goes south, are you willing to walk away from a friendship because of a real estate transaction? Because it can happen, right?
It happens all the time.
It does. It does. And I like to have that conversation with the leads. Like I would love to be your backup, and I would love to offer referral to your friend, and we can both work together.
But
And then that way you don't have to worry about things going
and
sideways.
I've
And
had that happen to me
I
where
have
a
too.
friend of mine hasn't used me. But when we sat down and he explained to me the reason, I had no problem with that whatsoever.
Exactly. Yeah. Because it's like, if you value that friendship, sometimes business can cloud that friendship.
Yeah,
Yay. So now you have more homework in your busy life.
of course. Thank you.
Well, and here's the thing, right, Dennis? Like, And it's not just looking at it as homework, it's looking at it as you have a system. So if you wanted to hire somebody, you know exactly how to coach them and tell them what to do with these, because now you can actually have like a written plan in place of this is my systems and my processes, and this is what I want you to follow.
And I really do want to thank you guys because as much as, I've been in this business for a long time, these meetings and these things help me out so much. Like I honestly, like a few times I would log in and just be lost. And I don't even know where to
You're not
start,
alone.
what to
You're not
do,
alone.
or like, and then you get frustrated, and then you go out for a smoke, and then
Yeah.
just say, F it. I'm not doing this today.
You find your
So
own.
Yeah.
I really do want to thank you for that. I really do appreciate it.
Of course. Well, thank you for taking the time, because I know you are busy, and just taking this time to just educate yourself and just be better tomorrow than you were today. That's what's important.
Thanks,
Yeah.
ladies. Thank you, really. Thank you.
You're
You're
so
welcome.
welcome. Crystal, have a great day. Thank you,
You
Dennis.
as well.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.